It's a fun one.
Welcome to the Techie Tessie channel. My name is Tess and today we're going to be covering some basic data structures. This topic has been highly requested, so over the next couple of weeks we're going to be posting videos focused on data structures and algorithms. Let's look at some real-world examples. First, let's cover the definition of data structures, and this definition is taken from the book Codeless Data Structures and Algorithms. A data structure is a concept we use to describe ways to organize and store types of data. So with that, let's get into our first data structure, arrays, which is probably the simplest and most common. And arrays store elements that are of the same data type. And an example I have here is if you lined up a bunch of milk cartons. And let's say that the milk cartons are the data type. As you can see, they are all the same. Two things I want to mention though. We have some vocabulary to do with arrays. We have the word index and the word element. Starting with the word index, in programming we start counting from 0. So this milk carton would be at index 0, this one at index 1, this one at index 2, and so forth. However, if we're talking about an element of the array, this milk carton would be the first element, second element, third element, and so on. So this can be a bit confusing to get your head around at first, but just remember that in programming we start indexing, counting at 0. Next, let's talk about 2D or two-dimensional arrays, which can also be known as multi-dimensional arrays or matrices. And a 2D array is an array of arrays. This can be confusing, but the way I like to think about it is to think about it like a chessboard. So if we look at just this row here, we can say this row is an array. And same with this row, same with this row, and so forth. And since we have 8 arrays, it's an array of arrays. So the full board is a structure in itself comprised of multiple arrays. Next, let's talk about stacks, which you might have heard use the LIFO structure, which means last in, first out. And to explain this, we'll use the example of a supermarket. The last product that the store owner puts on the shelf is the first product that the customer will take. So if we think about all of the milk cartons going back in this line here, that would be a stack. And the milk carton at the front would be the top of the stack. With stacks, when we take something out, it's called a pop. When we put something in, it's called a push. Now let's look at queues. This is a relatively simple one as the word queue is used in everyday language, but in programming we describe it as FIFO, meaning first in, first out. So if you are this person here, the first person who got into the supermarket, you're going to also be the first person who gets out. In the video description below, you'll find a link to a GitHub repository, which I have included real-life examples of the data structures that we've covered today written in C. If you haven't already checked out our video on C, you should. It is a fun one. I'll link it above. I hope you found this video helpful. Keep the code coming, like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.